Welcome back to Checkmate with Blake. And in this video, I'm going to be teaching you guys about 3 checkmate patterns that you should know to win more chess games. Now, these 3 checkmate patterns are special patterns that show up in almost every single chess game, which is why it's so important that you know them. And I'm also going to show you guys in this video attacking chess and how you can reach these positions to accomplish these checkmates. What's even more special about this video is it's not just 3 patterns I'm going to show you guys. In these 3 positions that I have shown on the board that I will show you guys, we actually have 6 different checkmate patterns I'm going to cover in this video. Of course, I titled it the 3 most common ones that you'll find because these are the 3 I really want you to focus on. But as I just said, there's actually 6 different patterns I'm going to cover in this video. Now, all 3 of these examples that I'm going to show you guys actually come from my recent streams that I've played. The first one is against a 521 ELO. The second one is against a 1455 ELO. And the last one is against a 2200 rated chess player. So all of these patterns are very common. And as I'm trying to show you guys, they show up in all levels of chess. I hope you guys learned something from this video. If you do enjoy it, please consider liking it. It helps promote the video. And I'd love to have if you guys want to subscribe to the community. Or if you're interested in chess coaching, I'd love to have you guys do that too. I'll attach a link for my chess coaching in the comments and the description below. So we'll go ahead and get started. As I said, we're starting from a lower elo all the way working up to a 2200 rated player. In this first example here, we have a 521 rated player we're playing against named David. So in this position, I'm actually threatening, as you guys can tell, if black does nothing, I'm threatening a checkmate in 1. Now, this is not one of the patterns I wanted to show you guys, but I want you to see this, that this is a checkmate pattern you could know about because the knight cuts this off and the king or the queen will attack the king for checkmate. But this is not one of the checkmate patterns I wanted to show in this video. Now, black actually identifies that we have a checkmate and they sacrifice their rook, which is the best move. We take now, and they actually played this move, king b8, which is a losing move. Now, the engine says 7.4, but after I play this move, you guys are going to see that it's actually going to be a forced checkmate. The move that you play here is this move king a6, and you can see the engine shooting up to mate in 4. Now, why is this move so special, and what is the checkmate pattern that I want to show you guys in the first example? Now, this first one is very, very common, so some of the other ones will become more advanced. But the first one I want to show you, why we play the move king a6, or queen a6, is to cut off the king. And if you cut off the king by putting your queen on one of these attacking squares, now when you support it with one of the checkmate patterns, which will be this bishop c6, or knight b5, it will be a forced checkmate. Now, as I said, this first one's very simple. Of course, no matter what black plays, let's just say they play the move bishop f5, which actually is the engine best, which is why I'm showing this move. It's not what was played in the game. What was played in the game was actually this move bishop takes e4, thinking that they're going to be in time to cut off this. But now you have either one of these patterns that you want to use. You can play bishop c6, and you are going to deliver a checkmate on b7 that is unstoppable. They cannot stop this checkmate. Or alternatively, you could play the move knight b5, and again, this is an unstoppable checkmate. So just look for this where you can attack with your queen, cutting off their king, and then just adding one more piece to either checkmate with your queen and bishop together, or with the knight and the queen together, and these are both unstoppable checkmates. Now, you may say, this is against a 500 rated player. Maybe these checkmate patterns don't apply for people above these elo, maybe at 1400. I'll show the 1400 game. So, in this position, they played the move here, bishop b4, but they have a very big weakness on e6. So I take on e6, giving a check. Now, they block here. Now, as you can tell, the engine says it's 4.7. It is not a forced mate, but I'll show you where we get to that point. So, the move that I played here is this move, bishop takes h7, sacrificing the bishop. Because after they take, which is what they played in the game, I will take their rook. Now, I do want to point out, before we go further with this, because this does lead to a forced mate, if they instead had played this move, king f8, you cannot play this move, bishop g6, trying to set up a similar checkmate to the first example, because they have a resource here, knight takes e5, where they're attacking your bishop, they're attacking your queen with their bishop, and they are covering the checkmate square, so you cannot play that move. If they had played this move over here, I actually would have been forced to play a move like queen c4. I'm retreating my queen. But instead, they did take the bait, allowing to set up this other checkmate pattern. Now, what is the pattern I'm talking about? Try to spot this before I show it, but this is a very common one, so I want you guys to know this pattern. They decided to actually just take the free knight, thinking, okay, maybe I won the rook, but I'm going to take his knight. It's not a big deal. But now you play the move rook e4, and you see the checkmate pattern. There's a very common checkmate pattern in chess where if the queen cuts off this square, this could also be a bishop, for example, cutting off these squares, bringing a rook or a queen to this file when you're controlling these two squares is often a very common checkmate that you'll encounter. Just know to look for it. So if you have the king, a good way to see this would be like if the king is on the rim and you could pull it to the rim and cover off these squares, all you need to do is bring either a rook over here or a queen. Just get a rook or a queen on this the h4 square, and you'll have a checkmate. It's unstoppable. They tried to play this move rook f or a knight f8. It doesn't do anything. We deliver a checkmate anyways against a 1455. Now, the last example that I have, as I said, we're starting from a lower elo to a higher elo, and obviously some of these patterns are more common and other ones are less common. But in this game, against a 2200 rated player, in the stream that I actually just finished, they played the move rook b1, and what I did to continue my attack was I took here on f4 with my pawn. Now, they cannot take this way because, of course, they're pinned to the king. So instead, they capture this way, and as you can see, the engine bar shooting up, it is actually going to be a mate in 3. So I play this move, and I give a check. They go back. What is the forced mate? Now, believe it or not, you may spot this in this position. You may look at this and say, I know what the forced mate is. This is obvious. Obviously, the forced mate is actually to sacrifice your queen, and after they take back, you deliver this checkmate. And the reason this is checkmate and why this is something you should know is because I missed this in that game. Now, the checkmate is very common because the bishop and the rook do very, very well together. And if you can have a move like this where the bishop cuts off the only escape square right here, well, then of course it will be a beautiful checkmate. And this actually happens more often than not. And this one, although it's the last example, is very important that you know this because, as I just said, I only had 19 seconds, I believe, in that position or something like that. I had actually had 28 seconds, and I should have spotted this, but I was playing a very strong player, and I did not spot this checkmate pattern that I'm teaching you guys about, which is why you should pay attention to this one because this is a common checkmate pattern that you should know, and I should have spotted it. I should have played that move and delivered this checkmate where the rook and the bishop control the king, and instead, as you guys could tell right there, I decided to just build my attack. I had very little time. I had 28 seconds, so I thought, let's build the attack and continue attacking because I didn't see the immediate checkmate. And I played this move, knight h5, which actually now shows the very last checkmate pattern, which is against me and was very painful, is this move, knight f7 checkmate. And this is a checkmate because the bishop and the knight both attack the king. Now, this is not one of the patterns I wanted to show you guys about, but this is the final pattern I want to show you in this video. Because now there's a double attack. I cannot simply move the king. The king is not able to move because this bishop is covering this diagonal. I cannot bring the queen back because the knight is checking the king. So because it's a double attack, it is a beautiful checkmate that my opponent delivered against me, all because I did not realize the final checkmate pattern that I wanted you guys to see, a forced checkmate against this 2200 rated opponent. If you guys found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments. Let me know which of these checkmate patterns you did not know or you weren't aware of. And if you did enjoy the video, go ahead and consider giving it a like, subscribing to the channel, or if you'd like chess coaching, I'll attach a link in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know what content you guys would like to see in the next video.